Hey, beautiful lady, Monique Connor here. If you're watching this video, then chances are you are someone that is suffering with fibroids, or you know someone close to you that is suffering with it. And I have to tell you, I know all too well what it feels like to have fibroids. The great thing is I no longer have to deal with fibroids because they've left my body. And so I wanted to create this video to just share with you exactly how that happened. I didn't have to have any surgery. I didn't have to take monthly subscriptions for any herbs. I did make some adjustments in my life and lifestyle, and I'm going to share those with you in this video. But first off, I want to share with you that I know what this is like. You know what? I'm a mom. I have 3 children, and I have a husband, and I'm a professional person, and I have my life, I have my career, I have my ambitions, and I can tell you that I was a person that I was diagnosed with having fibroids. I believe I was 12 years old when it happened. And right now I'm 51 years old, and my fibroids left my body when I was 48. So 3 years ago is when it left my body. So now I have to tell you, during that time, I had made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to have surgery. Now, I don't have any judgment around it because people in my family have had it. So I know that this can be so debilitating that people feel that this is their way, and rightfully so if you want relief. But the thing about fibroids is I have learned that they can come back even after myectomy. So I was kind of perplexed as to why that was. Now, I'm going to tell you what it is that I did, but I have to be honest with you in that when they actually left my body, to be honest with you, I was not focused on it. I had gotten to a point where I just felt, well, that's it. You know, I'm just going to go through life with them and do my thing. And I can remember, a simple thing of just getting up from the chair would always be painful to some respect because I'd have like this nagging, pulling tension on my left side in the uterus area. And I recently realized I just really learned, I had the habit of grabbing that part of my body so that I can, put some gentle tension and support around the fibroid so that it wouldn't sting as I got up. And of course, in those moments when I'd forgotten about it, I'd be quickly reminded once I got up quickly and just feel the sting of the pain. So I had my 3 children, carried my 3 children, 3 pregnancies with the fibroids. It was uncomfortable. So like I said, I have no judgment if surgery is your thing, but it wasn't mine. So here, I realized that there were 4 things as I look back, because remember, I wasn't focused on it, but as I look back, as after I was told by my GYN office that that they were no longer there. So one year they were there, the next year they weren't. I had to look back and say, well, what was I doing? And so I captured, there were actually 4 areas that I actually focused on because I was on a personal growth path. Like I was on my journey of awakening spiritually and learning who I was and wanting to step into this big vision that I felt God has given me from since I was young. So my specific focus, my daily thoughts and ideas and aspirations wasn't around healing fibroids. That just happened to be a byproduct of everything else. So what I did was I'm going to share with you the 4 things that I focused on. I wrote them down here so I don't forget. And this is in no particular order. It's not like I focus on this, stop, finish, then I focus on this, start, finish. It wasn't like that. It was like all of these areas have to be taken into consideration. So the first area, I call these pillars. The first pillar was I created what I now know to be a very healthy thought life. So I recognize that, and don't be offended. Don't try to jump through the computer and get me on this one. But a healthy body comes from having a healthy mind, right? Like a healthy body comes from having a healthy mind. Healthy money comes from having a healthy mind. Healthy relationships come from having a healthy mind. And so the reality is I was building up healthy thoughts on a regular basis. And as a result, a byproduct of that was my body became more healthy. Not only did I release fibroids, just so you know, I know you're watching this because you're concerned about fibroids, but not only did I release fibroids. I also healed a chronically swollen thyroid. As you can see, my thyroid is not swollen now. At one point, it was like my neck was always bulging like this. I had precancer in my colon. That is no longer an issue. I had blotchy skin and I had dry hair, and I had basically reached burnout in my career, and so I endeavored to heal everything in my life. And again, the fibroids was just a byproduct of the actions I was taking. So the first thing was I created a more healthy thought life. The next thing was I made some adjustments in my food. Now there's different schools of thought, right? There's the only eat salad school of thought that I've seen. There's the follow specific diets and eliminate gluten school of thought that I've seen. There's different schools of thought. What I endeavored to do was to eat according to how I felt and what felt good to me. In other words, I started to appreciate what caused stomach irritation, what didn't feel good afterwards, and I started to respect my body more when it came to food. So I call that intuitive eating and developing that, as opposed to what we do here in the Western world, because I'm in the United States. What we do in the Western world, we tend to rush through lunch and rush through dinner, rush through breakfast, just rush, rush, rush. Well, I endeavor to remove myself from this rush around food and really to just learn to enjoy my meals and enjoy feeling good in my body, whatever that looked like. And once I got to a point where I understood what feeling good felt like, then I endeavored to always feel good with the foods that I ate. So that was the second thing. I started to focus on foods and how they related to me and my body. The next thing I did was I worked on my emotions and my what I would call my energetic self, my energy. So I started to notice that I would be drained a lot. Again, remember now I had reached burnout. So I'd be drained a lot energetically. Then I started to look at, well, what was draining me? And once I started to pay attention to what was draining me and then eliminating those things and started stepping more into my purpose, I realized that I could have tremendous energy. So I started to manage my energetic life as well. Then the last thing that I did was I focused on what was true for me. So there's this way of living in which you do things out of obligations, or you do things because you're doing it for someone else or some other thing, or even more prevalent, at least in my case, I was doing things because I thought that was the best thing because somebody told me to. So I endeavored to become someone that knew what my truth was, what was best for me, what did that look like, and started to step into that. So now here's the beautiful thing. As I put these changes in motion, as I start to do these different things, my monthlies got cleaner, and I can remember specifically when fibroids left my body. At least one of them, because I had three of them, three big ones and two small ones. I remember when they left my body because my monthly was so red, but at the same time there was a lot of tissue that came out, a lot of clumps. But I remember thinking to myself, it felt like it felt like a cleanse versus, oh my gosh, something's wrong. Like I felt relief. I felt vibrant. I felt really good. And I wasn't doing like I've seen people do, like where you sit over the tub and you do like the vaginal cleansing, the vaginal washes. Now, I did do those after I had my children, where we did some of the cleansing and stuff, and I sat over the sitz bath and stuff like that. But as a practice in terms of dealing with fibroids, I didn't do that. The healing that I experienced came from making these changes that I just shared with you. So, did I take herbs? I took herbs, but the herbs I took weren't specific to fibroids, because I have a habit of taking herbs. Like, for example, I took cleansing herbs like black walnut and dandelion tea. I took herbs that supported my liver because that's my largest detox organ. And I have a habit of drinking, nutritional drinks anyway, so I did that. So I didn't do herbs necessarily specific for fibroids. They do have some on the market. I have not tried them, but I assure you that your body can heal. Because here's the thing, lady. Divine health is your birthright. Like, you get to be well. It isn't like God is up there punishing us, saying that you must walk through this sickness, you know, to get your breakthrough or whatever. But I've learned that a lot of the things that we've experienced in life emotionally, psychologically, they do affect us. I remember when I heard from a therapist that I went to go see that the body remembers, like your body has cellular memory of events that happen to you. So even if you just consciously put it out of your mind, it goes into the subconscious and the body remembers it on a cellular level. So DNA memory kind of thing, right? So like things that you've experienced, your body remembers. Things that your ancestors have experienced, your body remembers, and your body holds it. And I've learned too over the years that if something is manifesting in your body, that thing started emotionally, that thing started psychologically, that thing started on a soul level. It started in another aspect of you. The physical is just a demonstration of it, an expression of it, but that thing started and originated somewhere else. So I found you've gotta endeavor to heal the other aspects of you, which is you're a physical being, but you're also emotional, you're also mental, but then you're also a spiritual being as well. And so I look at this as you've got to treat yourself holistically. You can't just take herbs or sit on sitz baths or have surgery and expect that the problem will go away. The symptom may go away, but understand fibroid is just a symptom. The symptom may go away, but then why do they come back? Right? Like, why do they reemerge? That's the thing. And this is baffling the scientists, right? But I have learned the fibroids have not come back. I have felt very, very good. I feel like I'm 20 years old and I'm very active. And the thing I've learned is that divine health is our birthright. Like, you get to be well, lady. You get to be whole. You get to be healthy. You get to create the most beautiful, magnificent life experience that you want to, if you choose to. So I just wanted to share that with you. Share this video with your best girlfriends, anyone that you know that's dealing with fibroids. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull together a community so that we can go ahead and heal together, so that you don't have to be somewhere in isolation dealing with this and having people throwing different products at you all the time. I know that this works. I know that treating yourself holistically and gently and lovingly is what's going to help you to recover, not just from fibroids, but really become the woman that you're here to become anyway, right? Like, you are hidden underneath all of the disease and the symptoms and all that. The real you is under there. So by nourishing yourself, and not just with food, but what you say about yourself, what you think about yourself, who you allow around you in your circle, like all of that lends to you becoming the most magnificent, vibrant, juicy, beautiful woman that you are. So, as I said, share this link with your best girlfriend. I'm creating a Facebook group so we can hop in together. And, let's make this happen. Let's see you get well and no longer live in isolation with this crippling, debilitating thing called fibroid. All right? Share this with your girlfriend. Blessings to you. Bye-bye.